My name is Pamela Rose, and today we're going to talk about minor scales and chromatic scales. After major scales, minor scales are probably the most popular scales you play. There are two types of minor scale, harmonic and melodic. You're probably used to playing at least one of these, but by the time you come to grade 6, you will have to play all the minor scales, both melodically and harmonically. So now's a really good time to understand them for your grade 5 theory. Before we begin, I just want to make sure that we all know what an accidental is. An accidental is a sharp or a flat or a natural which is not in the key signature. The harmonic minor scale. The harmonic minor scale has the 7th note sharpened, ascending and descending. So in the scale of A minor, we have A, B, C, D, E, F. The 7th note is G, we sharpen it, it becomes G sharp, and it stays a G sharp on the way down. Because the harmonic minor scale is the same ascending as it is descending, we normally learn this first, as it becomes the most straightforward for us. The melodic minor scale has the 6th and 7th sharpened ascending, but natural descending. This is A minor scale. A minor has nothing in its key signature, no sharps and no flats. So as I go up the scale, I sharpen the 6th and the 7th, which becomes the F sharp and the G sharp. But on the way down, I only use the key signature notes. So melodic minors only use the key signature notes when they're descending. There is a reason for scales being named harmonic or melodic. When we're playing a piece, quite often in the melody, we can have the 6th or the 7th sharpened. And so that really belongs to the melodic minor. But in a harmony, we only ever have the 7th sharpened, the harmony, the chords of a piece. So that belongs to the harmonic minor. Minor scales are related to major scales through their key signatures. So once you know the key signatures for your major scales through the circle of fifths, then you will know the key signatures for your minor scales. For example, with C major, we know that there are no sharps and no flats in its key signature. And if we go to the 6th note of the major scale, we always find the minor scale with exactly the same key signature. So C major to the 6th note, we find A minor with nothing in its key signature. E major with 4 sharps in its key signature. If we go to the 6th note, we find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. C sharp minor with 4 sharps in its key signature. So just go to the 6th note of the major scale to find the minor scale with exactly the same key signature. Conversely, if you're in a minor scale and you want to find the major scale with exactly the same key signature, go to the 3rd note. So if A minor, I go to the 3rd note and I'll find C major. Sometimes in a minor scale, we want to sharpen the 7th, but we find that it's already been sharpened in the key signature. For example, G sharp minor has 5 sharps in its key signature. So we have G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, and then we want to sharpen the 7th note, which is actually F sharp already. How do we do that? We have to sharpen it again, and it becomes what we call a double sharp. So we then can go G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F double sharp, G sharp. Ordinarily, when we sharpen a note, say F, we make it one semitone higher and it becomes F sharp. If we want to double sharpen the note, we have to sharpen it again, so it will become there, a tone higher. So it's actually F double sharp. Is played as a G, but it's actually F double sharp. For the fullness of the experience, I should say that there is a sign called a double flat, and it's just two little flats put together. This means that you don't flatten the note by just one semitone or lower the note by one semitone, you lower the note by two semitones. So E, when it's flattened, will become an E flat, but when it's double flattened, it will become an E double flat. When you're writing or playing minor scales, it's very important that you know their key signatures and that you are aware of the relative major, so the major scale with exactly the same key signature. If you're writing a minor scale, play it too. Say the names of the notes out loud so that you know that they go in alphabetical order. Listen to the difference between a minor scale, which is harmonic, and a minor scale, which is melodic. Play them and sing them. Notes which belong to major and minor scales are called diatonic. However, notes not in major or minor scales are called chromatic. A chromatic scale moves in semitones. So if I play all the black notes and the white notes consecutively, a semitone apart, we have a chromatic scale. When writing chromatic scales, there are just two rules. The first one is that all the notes go in alphabetical order. So for example, you can't go from D sharp to F flat because you will have missed out the E. The second rule is that although we can use the same named note twice, we cannot use it 3 times. For example, if I start on A, I can say A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, but I cannot say A, B flat, B, B sharp, C sharp, D, because that would mean we have 3 different types of B. So bearing in mind these 2 simple rules, we can write chromatic scales. Now that I'm coming to the closing point of my sessions on scales, I have one big tip, and that is to know the key signature of the piece you're playing and then to play that scale and play it as a warm-up for the piece. I can't stress how important this is and how much it will help you. When playing your pieces, look to see if there are any chromatic passages, and the same advice applies. For example, when you're playing the piano, your third finger will always play the black notes. So if you know your chromatic scales and how to play them, that will help you to get around your chromatic passages in your pieces. Pieces are very often made up of scales and arpeggios. If you know how to play your scales and arpeggios, you'll find life a lot easier. My next session will be on tonic triads, and I'm looking forward to seeing you there.